All right, guys, we've got blog number 3. So this is Shane Gregory again, and we're sort of leading on a little bit more for what we've been talking about the last couple of days. So the first blog was about how to generate a lead without spending any money. A second blog was just basically going through the sales system for success, which I will go into elaborate in a little bit more detail today. So I've picked a specific point I want to talk about, and which I think is the big difference between people that make it and don't make it, and then are successful and aren't successful when it comes to sales and marketing for personal trainers. So what we're going to talk about today is once we generate a lead is booking the appointment. Now, the big difference between getting a lead between you and getting a lead to show up is getting on the phone or sending a Facebook message or email, but always getting on the phone is the best option, either a phone call or a text. Now, text, not so much. Try and use the phone because there's a good chance to build rapport, etc. And people can also pull out of a consultation quite easily via text. But I want to talk about the 5 really important things that I think are really important to making a phone call. So it's a simple thing. We went through the sales system for success. Very simple yesterday was booking the lead and booking the appointment from the lead. Now that's just the system. Here's the process. So the first time you get a lead, the one thing is you want to enter them into a database. So the database I personally use is just Microsoft Excel. I have their name, their mobile number, any notes I need to take in, and whether they're booked in or not. So very simple, very easy. If you guys want copies of a template of my database, please just comment underneath or tag me into your email address, and I can more than happily shoot you through a template. So you've got to have a database, and the reason being is it's no one has a laser precision memory. The problem with having bits of paper written down and stuff like this, people throw it out, it gets lost, it gets wet. So always having a Microsoft Excel database is the absolute best way for it. I mean, there are more advanced programming when you get into mass sales, but we're talking about a personal trainer here trying to generate new clients. This is who I'm aiming it at. So database, so important. You've got to have it. Now the second thing, guys, is get on the phone. Like, don't be scared. Like, everyone is like, I'm worried about what people are saying. I'm concerned about, this or that. The reality is you're doing the people a service. You're saving someone's life, okay? Getting on the phone, I enjoy talking to people. I love working with people. And that's one of my strengths, Now, one of the most important things about getting on the phone is when you're on the phone, smile. Like, when you're actually talking to them, smile. People can feel it through the phone, People aren't stupid. If you're ringing up going, hello, this is Shane from blah, blah, vacuum cleaning. Would you like to buy my vacuum? That's not really exciting. G'day, Shane here from Beyond Transformation. How are you today? Now, it's a very different tone and pitch, but smiling is super important. It's super important, and it puts you in a better frame of mood. The people can almost feel it through the phone. Now, the second one I want to talk to you guys is don't give up. Like, the first time you call someone is more than likely, percentage-wise, not going to be the first time that they're going to pick the phone up. People, the whole civil reality of how our culture and how we live today has changed. I have my phone on silent all the time. It's pretty rare to actually call me and get in touch with me. I'll answer the call or send me the text if whatever's needed. But you'll find a lot of people that are in corporates and people can't have their phones at work and, et cetera, et cetera. So don't be like, I'll call once. Oh, no. The reality is you're going to call. I can have someone on my database for up to 3 months before I connect with them. And that could always be the client that refers 15 people onto you and becomes your number 1 evangelist. So that's a bit more mindset, but that's how I sort of approach everyone I speak to on the phone. There's always someone that's going to refer 15 people, and that's sort of how you want to be talking to all your clients, especially your prospects that are coming through. Now, the 4th one, guys, is always follow up. A lot of the time, you're going to ring people up and they're going to be like, I'm going on holiday. Now's not a good time. The kids are sick, whatever it is. Now, the reality is if you ring up and they're objecting straight away and I'm not interested, don't call me back, mission abort, off you go, delete off the database, next one on, please. But a lot of the time, people are genuinely, if they're not doing anything, they're going to be genuinely interested in some form. It might even be 3 months, it might be 6 months, it might be 12 months down the track. So always follow people up. And what I find is I have a reminder system in my phone, and I also have a second database that I use for follow-ups as well. And I actually color code them. That's how I do it. I mean, I can more than happily, if you want to see my templates, I can send them through to you. But always follow people. People love the follow-up, and going into consultations, people love that phone call the next saying, how did you pull up from the session? How did you enjoy it? People always respect it because you know what? There's such a small percentage of people that actually do follow up on the phone. It's so small. And that's something I think I do really well because, you know, I want that evangelist. Every client I see is 15 potential clients in it. So always be following people up. Don't forget, take notes, put them in your diary, put them in your paper diary, put reminders in your phone, whatever it is, follow people up. People appreciate it. Now, the fifth one, guys, is this is so important. And now I could spend 5 minutes just talking about this, but I'm just going to keep it very simple. When you're on the phone and you're making a sales phone call, you're not making a sale. You're making a friend. It's a big difference. If you go into the mindset of, hey, I'm looking to make new friends, and I don't know, that my person, I'm always looking to make new friends. You know, I don't know, you know, that might not be your personality strength, but at least for the phone, have that as your mindset. If your mindset is, hey, I want to make a friend, the way you talk to them is completely different. And people are not stupid, okay? You ring someone up and you're just trying to sell them, and people will see right through it. And because there's one very important thing, and if you can remember anything from all this, I'll tell you one thing. People like to buy and they do not like to be sold to, especially these days because they're sick of the cold calls. They're sick of, you know, the big fitness centers ringing them up and hammering them and cold calling. People don't like that. They want to buy, and they want to buy someone they know, like and trust. Okay, so in making a friend, there's three things you really want to generate in that first 5-10. When I make a phone call, the first 5 minutes, I don't even talk about training. I want to know who they are. I want to know where they live, what their interests are, and I want to find a point of commonality. Now, once you find a point of commonality, that's how you gather trust. It's really important. I think that's that little golden nugget is finding that point of commonality. Like, for example, if you're a parent, you find a parent, or if you like a particular sport and they like your sport, or you live in the same suburb. As soon as people have that point of commonality, they'll instantly build rapport. Is so much easier. And that's all a phone call is, building rapport. It's building rapport, asking what their goals are, explaining how you can help them, and then providing a solution, booking in for an appointment. So that wraps up sort of, you know, making the phone call. I hope you guys got some value out of that. There's a lot more detail I could go into it, but I only want to make these blog posts reasonably short. Guys, if any of you guys got any questions, inbox me on Facebook, send me an email, text me if you've got my details. I'm more than happy to help wherever I can. And at the moment, I'm currently offering a free 30-minute discovery call. So if any of you guys got any interest or you're curious about learning more about this, my number is 0402 520 571. I'll also post it in the comments underneath. I'm more than happy to give you half an hour of my time and give you as much value as possible. Thanks.